have a little friend. Namaste and welcome. This is Chantel from She Achieves Studio for your weekly weekend card pull. Namaste, Satnam, and welcome. And this is little Cooper. He's a little baby. He's just a little baby, aren't you? Yes. Mwah. Wait, off. All right, welcome. And our cards today, I wasn't too sure about them, so they appeared as the Mystical Oracle, the Shaman's Oracle deck, and also messages from the Animal Spirit Guides. There's been a lot of animal activity lately, change of season. We're coming into the fall equinox as well. And animals are starting to also notice this change in the season. As you know, in Fort McMurray, the bears are out hungry and trying to do what they do best before they go into hibernation and feed. Maybe you notice a change in some of your pets as well, as we start to almost wind down from the summer and move into the fall equinox. And this is very interesting because how do we recognize that within ourselves? How do we recognize the slowing down, almost the maturing of the summer, I call it the summer sweetness, and now it's really ripe, and maybe it's beginning to change as well into maybe a different shape, a different taste, and how does that affect ourselves? So I invite you, and as always, you get to choose to step in or step out. The choice is yours, and not a breath before, to see how you on all 5 levels, physical, emotional, energetic, mental, and spiritual levels, are starting to shift and change from the summer sweetness into the fall equinox. And how can we honor this change without resisting it? Maybe we start slowing down a little bit. Maybe we notice that it's not so bright for as long, and perhaps we start going to bed a little bit earlier. Maybe we start slowing down a little bit. How can we truly honor the natural shift of the seasons within ourselves, within our daily lives, even within our thoughts? Okay, so I think that's what we're going to be asking the cards about this morning. So here are the cards. They're beautiful cards. Good morning, Nicole. Namaste, lovely. Peace. Thank you for sharing your morning. And everyone who I say hi to and who I don't. And whether you see this live right now or you watch it recorded after, the invitation today for the weekend card pull is how we can honor the change of the seasons, not only through the earth element, yet also within ourselves on all 5 koshas. Because it's happening. The trees are changing colors. The geese, oh my gosh, the geese are flying over, and they were so low last night. It was magical to see them be a collective, yet still honor this natural cycle of life, because life is cyclical. You know, yes, there are parts of it that are very linear. However, as a holistic, integral approach, life is truly cyclical. And that's what we're going to be honoring today with our cards. Good morning, Tiffany. Namaste, love. Thank you as well for sharing space. When we think about seasons, you know, the word change might appear. The natural rhythm of life. We have seasons in our life. We have seasons in our day. We have seasons in the month. We have seasons in the year as well. And when we're able to be aware and conscious of this, we can tune in and meet those frequencies where they are versus trying to adjust them, readjust them, or not even pay attention to them. And my one of my yoga teachers, Nikki Doan, she had this quote. It's like, when you stop, or no, when you think you have it all figured out, you begin to suffering. You begin to suffer. Or when you stop paying attention, you suffer. That's when the suffering happens. And isn't that what all of this is about? Is paying attention and just being aware. Now, this course that I'm taking right now, this training through Akashic Records, which is very powerful, and Kundalini Yoga has, for me, has really leveled up many things about me in my life, in how I teach, and how I live, and how I see the world, and how I see myself. And this is, as beautiful and expansive as it is, it's unsteady. So notice the signs when you start to pay attention and things show up. How can you see those things with love and create space? And check in on a regular basis. But check in deeper than the superficial self. Check in into the soul self, and that takes time. It takes meditation, it takes stillness, it takes a whole lot of love, baby. It takes a whole lot of love, because what might happen, what I've noticed in the past, is when we start checking in and it's not from a space of love and light, we sometimes get stuck. We become stuck. And we notice the stuckness, and then what do we do with it? Do we turn away? It's like that door that's open. Good morning, lovelies. Thank you for joining. So when we speak about love and seeing ourselves in our seasons, the seasons of the day, the seasons of the moon, the seasons of the earth, the seasons of the year, the seasons of our emotions, how do we observe? Or is it from a lens of love or not? Is it from a sense of fear? Is it a sense of entitlement? Is it from a sense of ego? And how can we step back? It's like seeing that door that's open just a little bit. And we're not really sure if we're ready to go through the door. I spoke about this last weekend card pull because it seems to be showing up a lot. We see the door. Do you see the door? Can you see your door? And you're not sure if it's open or if the door is, if it's opening or if it's closing. You're not really sure. So you sit and you look at it for a bit. Something happens and you're like, oh, snap, that door's there still. And maybe it's got some dust under it, some dust bunnies. And you're not sure if you want to close it or open it. And that's when we create space. And so the cards today, the animal cards are going to be asking us about the seasons, okay? And then how we can honor the seasons. And then the mystical shaman oracle cards are going to guide us into how can we create loving space to see the door. Because if we run through the door head on, well, maybe it's going to hurt. Maybe we're ready for it. Maybe we've got a helmet on. Or maybe we go to the door and it's jammed. Or maybe we go to the door and it just opens up before we even get there. Or maybe it closes. And how can we, in a sense, isn't that like the seasons? How can we honor all of that? That's, to me, that is like so important. Right now I'm going through a huge shift, personally, especially through this Akashic Records training, which is so powerful, the Shamanic training I'm taking, and also the Kundalini training I'm taking. 3 very powerful trainings. And I went in with steadiness. I saw the door. It was open. I'm like, I'm ready to go through that door. Well, I'm just going to be honest, okay? I'm just going to be honest, because yesterday, for part of the training, my door got jammed. It got jammed. And then guess what? My body got jammed. So right now my pelvis is very twisted and jammed, like literally. I'm heading to the chiropractor after this because it doesn't matter what I did. It's jammed. There's a jam in there, okay? And it took a few days to recognize it, and it just got worse because the jam in the body, I saw it, but I didn't do anything about it. I didn't do anything about it, and now it's completely jammed. So how can I look at that from a space of love and say, sweetie, it's okay. My energy body, spiritual body, mental and emotional body are all going through the shift of feeling like a sense of jam because I'm working through some stuff. So not all the time, lovelies, not all the time the door is going to be like open and easy to open. Sometimes it's going to be jammed. And the beautiful part of that is that's part of the process. How can we soften into that and take the weight off of our shoulders that we have to have everything figured out right then and there? How can we support ourselves while we're feeling jammed as much as when we feel opened? And to me, that's love. That's forgiveness. It's called courage and bravery. And I would love for you to be able to invite those words into your heart, because they're so powerful when you believe in them. Even if you believe in them in just a tiny, tiny little bit. That little bit is like the seed. It's like the seed. Find your seeds and then decide what you want to do with them. All right, so let us go into, that was kind of heavy, sort of. Let's go into a gentle cleansing, because we really want to be clear before we go into any type of divination, whether it's dowsing. I'm offering chakra dowsing at the studio right now. And it's something that's just been evolving. I talk to chakras. I'm a chakra talker. I talk to your chakras and I talk with them for you. And it's really powerful because it's a beautiful, clear transmission. In order to have that clarity though, because we are opening up, I guess, a sense of a portal, we want to be very, very secure in our sacred space. And I was also reminded of that from a beautiful goddess yesterday in the training. And so when you're doing any spiritual work, I encourage you to really have some sovereignty over the sacred space that you're opening. Because as we know, there's light energy and there's also dark and heavy energy. And we're just not inviting those dark and heavy energies into our space. They mix things up. They change it. They reroute our intent of love. So let's bring some clearing in. And you can light some sage if you like. And find yourself in a seated, kneeling, even lying if you're watching this in bed, or standing space for your physical body. And I ask that you lengthen your spine and gently retract the chin to keep the occipitals, the back of the spine, the Sushumna, the Kundalini highway open and lengthened. And place both hands on your heart center. It doesn't matter what hand is on top or not right now, okay? Just connect with your heart. And eyes open or eyes closed. Gently soften the jaw. Begin to feel your tongue. And as you breathe in through your nose, feel the cool air tickle the tips of your nostrils, and almost feel the breath swoon around your tongue, down into the belly. So invite the mind to follow the journey of breath from the tips of your nostrils all the way down into the belly, passing through the heart. When you're full, gently release that breath and feel it once again. Massage around the tongue and tickle the tips of the nostrils with that warm breath. And we call upon sacred space. We call upon Spirit of the South. We call upon Spirit of the West. We call upon Spirit of the North and Spirit of the East. From below as above, and all that lies in between, from Mother Earth to Father Sky, the animals, the seasons, the elements, the angels, the light givers, all the star seeds, the gurus and their gurus, the ancient ones, the teachers and their teachers. And we ask for reverence, sanctity, and sovereignty during our card pull. And that all energies less than, any lost energies, any dark or heavy energies, just not be welcome in our light. So with your continued breath, radiate your light outwards. Okay? Feel it pulsing outwards. And really bring that beautiful green aura around Anahata Chakra. Beautiful. And on your next breath in, belly breath in, and a gentle open mouth, belly breath out. And when you are ready, please open your eyes if they're not already and be present now. Thank you. We've arrived. We've been invited. We've landed and we've arrived. So let's bring power into that arrival, exactly where we are in this moment. With the door jammed or the door open. And honor exactly where you're at. Beautiful. All right, lovely. So let's start with the seasons, because I feel it's going to help guide us into the next set of cards. So we ask the spirit animals. Oh, the spirit animals. Serpent, jaguar, hummingbird, and eagle, collectively, to help guide us. How can we honor the seasons? Okay, this is going to be a big one. How can we honor the seasons not only in earth element, the seasons of the year, but the seasons of our life, the seasons of our day, the seasons of our experiences? Beautiful. So we're asking collective. So this is a collective curiosity of all the seasons and how what can we learn? Hang on, just let me think here. How can we expand into the seasons that we experience from each breath, year, and life? Oh, beautiful. Okay, are you ready? This is amazing. I freaking love the universe. Like, it guides us and it holds us. If you really feel that you are held by the guides and the universe, like, it will become stronger. And that's part of developing your intuition. And if you feel that maybe you're not connected to your intuition, like, hey, let me know. I'm all about that jam. Okay. So honeybee. Honeybee is our spirit animal to help guide us into all the seasons in our breath, in our day, and in our life. Our breath, our life, everything that we've experienced. the honeybee. And it says, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. The honeybee. Isn't that beautiful? That's really beautiful. Okay. So the honeybee. What are we going to learn from the beautiful honeybee? So let's think of what the honeybee is and what the honeybee does. Okay? To reap all the sweetness that life has to offer, focus on compassion and forgiveness. Okay, so I'm going to use my example to give you a tangible, real life, real time experience so that maybe it becomes a little bit more realistic for you, okay, to better embody this teaching, okay? So the compassion and forgiveness. Let's say the experience, the stuckness that I started to unravel yesterday, like for the first little bit, I was very shamed. I felt I should have known better, that I should have seen this, okay? And I should have dealt with it long ago, okay? So it showed up. So there was a little bit of time where I felt that, and I was really hard on myself, and just, it wasn't a very good feeling. And then I started to move my body around a bit and breathe into my heart and actually let that heaviness sort of be there, acknowledge it. And then I moved up a little bit higher into the energies, and I started to come from love and loving curiosity. And I asked that part of self, okay, sweetie, what do you need? Like literally, I asked her, what do you need? And I saw her from, it's like, it's okay. You served me for a while, and now I don't rely on you as much. So you can rest. Like, there, sweetie. It's okay. And it took some time to be able to go through that. Okay. So that is compassion and forgiveness. So how can we reap all the sweetness of the seasons? Whether it's moving through emotions, moving through an experience in our life, just actually waking up one day and recognizing that I'm stuck in a certain part of my life, and yeah, this isn't really where I want to be anymore, and then learning how to do something about it. Or maybe it's you're waking up and you're thinking, this is awesome, like I've worked so hard, I am exactly where I want to be. How can you reap all of the benefits of whatever season you're in that moment? Well, keep listening. Compassion means that you have heartfelt empathy for the suffering and misfortune of others, yet remain somewhat detached so that you don't take on their sorrow and distress as their own. Okay, and this is really important, okay, because I look at this as, other people, but I also look at this as a part of ourself. How can we detach from the sorrow of, let's say, that part of you that's stuck, and know that it's not really who you are? Like, okay, this is like the $1 million answer, okay? I'm just letting you know. Because when we identify with our experiences, for me, being stuck, or wherever you are, maybe you're not stuck, okay? But when we truly identify that experience and that emotion, that feeling is who we are, things get stuck, things get twisted, like my pelvis all jammed up, like literally twisted and tilted, okay? So when we come from a sense of compassion, it's like holding a little chickadee. It's like, sweetie, it's okay. I'm moving through you right now. I'm learning to be in relationship with you right now through love. And to be gentle. Compassion is gentle. It can be powerful, yet it's gentle. Okay? So forgiveness requires that you first acknowledge and accept responsibility for your judgments, right? Yes, rather than pretending they don't exist. That's what we were talking about. Or professing to always sustain a non-judgmental attitude. Oh yeah, I've got it all figured out. I got it all figured out. How many times have you thought that? And then something comes back and bites you in the butt and you're like, ah, crap, I don't have it all figured out. That was exactly me yesterday. And the ego, oh yeah, ego was not happy. Ego was like, huh, you know? So, it just takes so much love and compassion, hun. It just does, okay? So take your time. And you can have some fun with it when you get to a certain point. You really, really can. There's a lot of humor and playfulness in the universe. Okay, so not everything has to be super crazy heavy when we work through it. Yes, we can have the I call it the scream pee cry. You know, the snot scream pee cry, where it's just like you're purging. You are purging. Everything, every orifice is purging at the same time. Okay, it can be heavy like that, yet it can also be like, oh wow, ego didn't like that. Interesting. That's powerful energy as well. So honor wherever you're at. That's all we're saying. Honor where you're at. Okay, so this is going to finish off the card of how we can honor our seasons in our each breath, the seasons in our, I don't think I said life the first time, seasons in our breath, our day, and our life, okay? And our lifetimes. To do so, think, okay, so we want to release judgments, okay? So to do so, deep breath in, deep breath out. Think of someone, past or present, with whom you have judgments or criticisms, okay? Trust that the first person that comes to mind is the appropriate one to start with, okay? And you can look externally. However, whatever we see outward, we see inward first. So for me personally, and you don't have to, remember it's your choice to step in or step out. It's totally your call. You decide, okay? And not a breath before you're ready will you be able to decide. I always go inward first because what I see in myself, I'm going to see outward. Okay? But that's your choice. Consider 2 or 3 specific criticisms that you have had about this individual, preferably captured with one word. Okay? Then find a quiet place, go inside yourself and look for that part of you that's exactly like that with what you're judging in that other person. Well, I guess I explained that, but I do it the other way. Okay, cool. Now, you got to come from heart voice with this because the judge will judge. Okay? So you don't have to do this, but it gives you some inquiry about it. Okay? What you see in someone else, what you see outward, it's all inside of you. How can we see something outward and have a judgment on it when we don't have that judgment within our own self? It doesn't make sense. Okay? So it may be a very prominent part of yourself or a rather small aspect, right? It could be the snot, pee, scream cry, or it could be like that, oh wow, yeah, that totally makes sense. Huh, okay, I get it. You may identify it by recalling times when you've behaved in ways that resemble what you're criticizing. Once you've discovered that part of you, simply say to it, I love you and forgive you. So there's a Hawaiian prayer. And it's, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you can really say it in any way. That's how I was taught it. And, oh yeah, sometimes, thank you, Leon. So much to learn. Sometimes we have how would higher self show up. Yeah. I'm not, let me just see this. Hang on a sec. I really want to comment. I don't know how I can move that. Okay. So much to learn. Absolutely. Sometimes we have how would highest self show up. Yeah. Oh, sometimes we have and how would highest self show up. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Thank you. How would highest self show up? Well, I think it's different for everybody. Number one, I think you got to be willing to be able to accept that love. and to see it. Our highest self is always waiting for us. It's always there. We just have to access it. And that sometimes takes a higher frequency and a clear and sacred space, some stillness and meditation. And I think lots and lots of patience. Lots of patience. And in essence, Akashic Records helps get you there as well. And it helps hold space. So we create space to access the highest self, to release whatever it is, to have a connection, to find a divination, to answer a question, to have guidance in your life, to break or understand some soul contracts. You know, so it's all out there waiting. Okay, and it is a lot to learn. You're absolutely right, Leanne. So your highest self is going to be there when you're aware, when you're ready, when you ask it, when you connect to it from a space of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Okay? All right, so once you discover that part of you, thank you for asking as well, Leanne. Thank you for that. I hope that answered your question. And if not, you can message me a little bit later if you like, or we can continue the dialogue absolutely in the comments, okay? So I love you and forgive you. If necessary, repeat this 2 or 3 times and notice emotions that come up. So with the Hawaiian prayer, it is, we usually say it like at least 5 times, and that's where mantras come in. That's with like Kundalini, is we repeat mantras. We repeat mantras sometimes for 10 minutes, sometimes for 30 minutes, sometimes even for a whole hour, the same mantra. Because what happens is what we speak, that's our Vishuddha throat chakra, okay? That's our communication, our expression, and our filter, okay? So if we continually say, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, okay? Then you're going to be thinking that you suck, okay? If you go into it saying, I'm sorry, I love you. Like, I'm sorry, sweetie, I love you. Please forgive me, thank you. That softens that vibration, okay? So mantras are really important. So that's why repeating that to that voice or that part of you, that judgmental part of you, over and over and over. Because it takes time to break down the samskaras or the kleshas. And the kleshas in yogic philosophy are, because I love talking yogic philosophy in real time. Kleshas are 5 obstacles of suffering: ignorance, ego, attachment, repulsion, and fear. Okay? Everybody in the world will have an experience with one of those or all 5 of those in their life, whether they recognize it or not. Because guess what? It's part of being human. Nobody's exempt from it. Right? Highest gurus? I don't know. They're on a different level. But for the majority of us, that's what we live with every day. They're obstacles that show up. So why don't we just meet them where they're at, learn from them, what have we learned from them, and put them aside and keep walking. Right foot in front of left, left in front of right. So when you keep saying that, I love you, I forgive you, to that judgment, whatever shows up, it's eventually going to soften. Okay? Because love is the most powerful energy in the entire universe. Okay? All right. Let's continue this. In the coming days, be aware of any feelings that arise that may be associated with this experience. Practice this at least once daily for the next few days and watch what happens. Okay? So, you can have your own mantra, and like it can be anything. Like, I am worthy. I forgive myself. I love you. Okay, so if you If you keep feeding it that judgment, well, guess what? It's going to grow bigger and it's going to grow stronger. Once you recognize that obstacle and you're ready to, you can love it. Because with the chakras, we start with the root. We start with the root chakra, and that's the heaviest chakra. The color red, the frequency of red, the energy, it's heavy, it's dense. It's supposed to be dense. It's our root support. It's what holds us down. Gravity pulls us down, yeah? And solidity holds us up. So that's root chakra, okay? Sort of our foundation. And this is really interesting because it's very important to have those lower 3 chakras attuned and balanced and nourished and nurtured to be able to get into the heart space. I call it the veil. And to be able to access the rest of the chakras, which lead us up into our awakening, higher awareness, higher self. Okay? But if we're continually stuck in an excessive or deficient root chakra, it's really challenging to move, to go beyond that. And this is really cool. So if you want, go to the website, okay, go to sheachievstudio.com. I think the link is in there. And I think it's in the homepage. It's on the homepage, and it's also in offerings under deeper healing. I'm offering, not till October though, I'm offering a 3 session. It's a 3 deeper healing, 3 60-minute deeper healing sessions, and it's only got to do with root. We dive into your root chakra. We talk to it. It talks back. We have a relationship with it. I open up kind of the gateway for you, and you can really dive in. So there's a little bit of Thai yoga massage, because I love the hands-on. However, it's a lot of really getting into the root chakra. So if you feel like, just take a look at the video, okay? It's really cool. And it also, this might be cool, even if you're like, no, I'm not ready for that, that's cool. But it gives you not identification, it gives you an explanation of if your root chakra is excessive and what some of the symptoms are, and if your root chakra is deficient and what some of those symptoms are. Okay, and I treating the symptom, I like to go to the root. That's kind of what I do at the studio. What I offer is I like to go to the root, but sometimes it's like it's not a straight path. Sometimes we have to, be creative in our approach to get there, because some scars are really deeply ingrained. They might be there for lifetimes. So in order to go through the wall, to get love into that space, sometimes it takes time. So the 3 sessions are just there to just focus solely on Muladhara, on root chakra, on re-securing your stability within yourself. Okay? All right, so you can check that out. So let's go into, how's our time? Oh, 9:09. Okay, I guess we're going to go into the next card pull. Is everyone with me? Oh, someone said something. Okay, let me see how I do this. This is something I've been saying to myself when things happen. I say to myself, this is how, higher self would respond, show up to this. Yeah, exactly. Like from love. From love. Because the thing is when we have judgments, that's part of who we are. It's part of human nature. They're gonna show up. They're gonna show up in different ways. It's what we do with them when they show up. That's what the door is. The door is our obstacles, our resistance. So again, the door is, I just have to shift my body. The door is either open and we see it and it's stuck, just like what I experienced yesterday, and now my body's stuck, okay, which makes sense, but I'll work through it. And then you can see the door, and the door can be easy. It can be like moving a bit and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go through that door. I'm going to go through that door. And you go through it with ease. Beautiful. Yay for you. Right? That's exactly kind of what you mentioned, Leanne. Yeah. And then sometimes we don't even see the flippin' door for years. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know your experiences. But the door, that's what that door represents. You know, it's really interesting because I've been doing this like kind of focused energy work for about longer than 6 years, but really committed and expanding into it. And now that I'm kind of leveling up and able to get to the next level of some energy medicine for lovelies and even for myself, I know that there's a lot of, like, I've had a lot of women contact me over the years, okay? And they're like, yeah, I've been following you for like 2 years, or I've been following you for a couple years. Yeah, I watch your videos all the time. Yeah, I'm just not there. You know, and then all of a sudden one day they're like, yeah. Okay, and that's like, and I want to be as specific as I can. So I'd say at least, I don't know, at least 30 women have said that. And that's what I mean by honoring where you're at. If you're not ready, you're not ready. If I'm not ready to face this part of me that I just recognized yesterday that has been lulling in the wings and weighing me down, like, I haven't been ready to be in relationship with her until now. And I'm like 52. So she's been around for a while. Actually, oh, it's just funny. I just find it funny because I try and find humor in many things, especially when it's for myself, okay? It just takes the pressure off. So what I'm offering at the studio, what I offer is you're here and this is your door. Okay, you're here, this is your door. You see the door? You don't know if it's open, you don't know if it's closed, you don't know if it's jammed, you just see the door. Maybe you don't see the door, all of that. Everything we've talked about, okay? The door's here, you're here. And you're just like, you're not, just not ready. And then maybe you're like, yeah, I'm ready now, but I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Well, I help bridge the gap between where you are and that door. Like, wherever you are. Whether you've been leveling up, whether you've been practicing Kundalini for every day for 5 years, and you're at a space where you're like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to get here. Or if you're like, yeah, I've never heard of any of this, and I kind of dig it, but I don't really know what to do. Like, I bridge that gap. Now, I don't tell you what to do. That's not my jam. But I'll walk beside you. So it's kind of like we're walking together. I'm kind of holding the flashlight, but you're telling me where to put the flashlight, kind of. Or you're holding, I don't even know if that would be right. You're holding the flashlight and I'm just saying, oh yeah, shine the light over here and see what's over here. Yeah, that feels better. I'm not holding your flashlight. Hells no, you hold your own flashlight. I gotta hold my flashlight. So I don't tell you what to do, okay? I'm just sort of like the channel that gets you from, I see my door and I don't know how to get there. And whether it's with the chakras, with your higher self, with just life, with a chronic injury, just whatever shows up. Okay? However, you're here, your door's here, not sure where to go, you're not going to get there until you're ready. You know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's like a yogic saying, a yogic mantra in a sense. Okay? All right. So, peace out. Do you get it? So, wherever you are, whether you're here and your door's here and you don't contact me for like 5 years, maybe you never contact me, maybe you contact somebody else. Or maybe you just start reading books, or maybe you stay watching Facebook Lives, and that's good enough for you. Honor where you're at. I think in the end, the moral of the story is honor where you're at. It's so important to be able to do that, okay? All right, ready? Last card. I think we need to shake it off. Yeah, cut some ties. Okay, we're still holding sacred space. Okay, so only loving space is here. And we're asking, now, if I can think back 45 minutes ago. Oh, we talked about the seasons. So the card for the seasons was honeybee. How we can honor the seasons in our breath, our day, and our life, and lifetimes. And how can we... Oh, the door. So now we're going to ask the guardians of the galaxy, the universe, the ancient ones, the elders, the masters, the gurus, the guides. Oh, I love my guides so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, and my spirit animals, I love you. I will spend time with you today. So let's ask the door. How can we honor... Okay, so this is going to be for everyone, us as a full collective. How can we honor exactly where we're at? If we're here and our door is here, how can we honor where we're at, even if we're here and our door is here? Or how can we honor if our door is here and we've already passed through it? So wherever you are, how can you honor the space that you're in now? Okay, whether you see the door or whether you don't. Whether the door is jammed or whether it's not. Okay, the door, something about a door all the time. All right. So how can we honor? How can we honor? Geez, how can we honor to get through the door? Well, what if we've already gone through the door? How do we honor ourselves for doing that as well? Ready? Deep breath in. We shall be open to receive. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, just give me a sec here. Oh, I'm okay. I am so thankful. Okay. Just, can I please have a moment? Okay. Shake it off. Keep walking. All right, so how can we honor? And the card is the witness. The witness. All right, and why this kind of hit right away was because I've talked earlier about, hi Koopy, you're so pretty. I talked about you're not your experiences. You're not your experiences. Everything that's happened to you, it is not who you are. Okay, you may think it is, but it isn't. Okay? It is just something that happens to you. The feelings and the emotions that you feel, they're feelings. They are not you. You are your true self. You are your soul self. You are not that. Okay? The soul is not in the body. Our soul is not in our body. Our body is in our soul. Okay? And in yogic philosophy, we call this Purusha and Prakriti. When the seer, there's a difference between the seer and the seen. When we identify ourselves with being the seen, we identify all of our experiences as who we are. But when we identify ourselves as the seer, we step back, we create a bridge. That's not all there is, but that's what we're talking about right now. So that's kind of why it sort of hit me, because one of the obstacles that I was going through yesterday, and not just going through yesterday, I'm still with it today, just in a different relationship, was because I did not create that space. And you know what? That's what I talk about, right? All the time. But yet I didn't even do it. I didn't even do it. I got sucked into the portal that I was that. I forgot. Oops, I'm human. It's okay. So luckily, I was able to move beyond that. Come on, Cooper, off. I just have to rearrange the puppies. There you go. I was able to recognize that. Okay? So it's okay to honor where you're at. And that's what this card is reminding us of. If you forget and you start to identify that you are the judgments, you are your experiences, it's okay. Just gently remind yourself with the honeybee, compassion and forgiveness, they work together. Sweetie, you're not that. Oh, okay, phew, I forgot. And then move on. Or whatever you got to do. Okay, are you with me? You with me with that? Okay, so let's find out the witness. So the witness observes without engaging in any action. This is so powerful. That there's no judgments. You're watching it. You're watching what happens. I'm watching that part of me that showed up yesterday that I was finally ready to be in relationship with, and I just watched her. Oh, you're there. Okay. So without gauging in any action, you're being a neutral witness. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. Okay, so Leanne, when you asked about the higher self, that's kind of what I was mentioning, because stillness, meditation. Because if we're constantly going, there's a distraction in the energy. When we're still, yeah, it's hard for some people to be still. Absolutely. Great. Let it be hard. Let it be hard. Show up with it. Honor it. Learn from it. Okay? When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, then we are able to truly hear them and give them better advice. Sometimes we can be so still that we are a mirror for the other. Then through our presence, they receive their own answers. And that can even mean, again, just yourself. Okay? So this is our final teaching. How can we honor where we're at? How can we honor the door? The witness that has been by your side all along is now ready to become your ally. You thought you were the doer. Purusha Prakriti. Love it. Ayurveda totally rocks. Peace out. You thought you were the doer, but today you discover that things happen when you get out of the way. Huh. Boy. Like, if this resonates with you, I get it. I get it. Like, go into your toolbox. And those of you who have worked with me, I know you're out there. You've got a spiritual toolbox. Go in it. Figure out what tool you can use for this. Okay? That's my invitation to all of the lovelies. You've got tools. I show you the tools. I show you how to use the tools, and then you get to go use those tools. Okay? So discover the tools to help you get out of your own way. Witness creation unfolding before you. So the flashlight, right? Shine the flashlight so you can see. And this is going to be cool, okay? If you close your eyes and receive the stillness, the flashlight appears. The flashlight is not always open or is not always shining when your eyes are open. Sometimes the flashlight can be brighter when your eyes are closed. Change reality. You create your own reality, create it. You are in charge of it. You're in charge of everything in your reality. You really are. When you get out of your own way. But with those judgments there, it's kind of hard to do that, right? We kind of got to go like that. Or maybe we do this. Or maybe we do this. Or maybe we just close it and just move. Like, do it. Okay? So witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. And in essence, Leanne, that's what you were talking about, is for the higher self. Create reality, change your reality by finding stillness. So what do you do when you find that stillness? Surrender and receive into it. Acknowledge it's there. Acknowledge, yeah, I'm not ready to be still. I got to move around. Okay. Like, why does it have to be anything more than what you're ready for? Maybe just acknowledging that stillness is there and that it's challenging for you. Maybe that's what you're using the toolbox for. Or maybe you're in stillness and you're like, oh yeah, I need it every day. It's like after 3 months of pretty much practicing Kundalini yoga, Kundalini Kriyas, the Soba Kriya, almost every day, almost, not quite, I missed some days, but almost every day for the last 3 months. I've been practicing that and honoring that, because these ties are strong. These binds are strong. Okay, and it takes time. So now when I first started the Kundalini, I was like, oh, this is like treacherous. It was like, oh, because I've dabbled in Kundalini, but not to this extent. And now it's like, I don't want it to stop. Right? I don't want it to stop. So give yourself permission wherever you are. Wherever you are, sweetie. Love. Look in with compassion, with love. Be the witness. And in essence, that's the moral of our story today, is honor exactly where you're at. With compassion, with forgiveness, and with a loving and curious witness. And if you feel that perhaps you are stuck, or you're not stuck, you just want to keep moving, you want to change your reality, and you're here, and what you want is here, and you don't know how to bridge that gap, connect with me. Okay? Whether it's virtual or in studio, it doesn't matter. Healing love is etheric. Okay? And if you're still not even sure, because I love having commitment. I love having commitment. So I offer a lot of 8-week courses like Root to Crown Foundations. When I start bringing in Akashic Records, that's going to be a commitment as well. If you're not ready for that, go to See the Root and Rest on the homepage of SheAchieveStudio.com, and under Deeper Healing. It's 3 one-hour sessions. And again, it can be virtual. It doesn't have to be in person. Okay, but it can be. And see if that fits. And maybe if that doesn't fit, then maybe you'll pick up a book today. Or maybe you'll watch a Facebook Live somewhere else that can help bridge that gap. Okay? Because sometimes when we do shine that flashlight, it gets really heavy. Especially if we're shining it and we don't know, we don't have a direction. Or the batteries run out. Or it gets heavy and the batteries run out. Okay? So be gentle with yourself, lovelies. Love yourself with fierce love, with courage, with bravery. Know that you are not alone. You are not alone. And share that love within yourself. Plant that seed to attract that honeybee. And grow it and nourish it and honor the seasons where you're at in your breath, in your life, in your day, in your world, in this universe. And from my little honeybee to your little honeybee, I say namaste, peace out, I love you all, sat nam, sat nam, sat nam. The work here is done. Sacred space has now been closed, and I thank all of the guides, all of the animals, all of the trees, all of the tears, and all of the laughter equally. The work is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a deep belly breath in, and a deep belly breath out. Shazam! Contact me. I offer free karma calls. 30 minutes free virtual karma call. We can sit and chat. I am going to be away. I will not be offering any services between September 20th and October 1st. Okay. But the website will be up. And just wait. I'm also writing blogs after the weekend card pull and the 5-minute morning meds. So I'll be writing a blog in the next couple of days. So feel free to subscribe to the email collective on sheachievestudio.com. You go to the webpage and on right away it says join in the love on the email collective. And then you'll get emails, and I only send out emails twice a month. New moon and full moon. Those are the only times you get emails at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay? And the emails are sacred, and they may or may not all the time, will they have a special offer only for the lovelies on the email collective. And men can get in on the email collective too. I do offer offerings to male clients, virtual right now, or companion with a female in studio. Okay? So whatever you're looking for, okay? Step in or step out. It's going to show up when you're ready, and if you're not ready, you're going to find another path. So wherever you are, honor it. Check it out. I love you all. Stay safe. Have fun. And kids, love as hard as you can. Namaste. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam.